All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say call Halayim Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakah Quitash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who have taught me this truth and who rule well in this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel that is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and mercy unto you. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. You are the true chosen people of the book of the Bible. All right, so I have this article here today, all right, coming from CBS News. All right, and the title of this article reads, Doomsday Clock moves to 85 seconds to midnight. Closest point to catastrophe since its debut. All right, now that catastrophe is Armageddon, man. All right, that catastrophe is when these nuclear missiles rain down upon this planet Earth in this third world war. All right, that catastrophe is talking about the downfall and the destruction of America. That catastrophe is talking about the downfall and the destruction of Esau, Edom's age, world, and rulership. All right, because the Most High is a character, man. The Most High put it in the mind of Esau, Edom to make a doomsday clock, right? Because watch that doomsday clock strike 12. All right, when Yahweh Shai cracks that sky in half. All right, watch it strike midnight when Yahweh Shai and the angels return. All right, from the spiritual realm. You know, Esau Edom got a doomsday clock. Nonetheless, we're on Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai's time. You know, the scriptures say that the vision. Let's get it. All right, the vision is yet for an appointed time. All right, and that's in the book of Habakkuk, the second chapter. All right, so I'll get straight to the point. This is Habakkuk 2 and 3. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. Yeah, the Lord has his word, all right, has his prophecies come, you know, when he wants them to come. We're on Yahweh. We're on Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai's time. So when the Lord wants his word to be fulfilled or his prophecies come to pass, whenever he wants them to come to pass or be fulfilled, all right, that's when they're going to be fulfilled or come to pass, man. When the Lord wants it. All right, the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. Yeah. All right, are we not at the end? Are these visions, these prophecies not speaking for themselves? All right, because you people like to say, oh, y'all been saying that for years and years and years, right? But now the vision, all right, that has been set for an appointed time, all right, is now speaking at these end times, man. See, we don't gotta say too much anymore because these prophecies are speaking for themselves. They're speaking loud and clear. Everything we have been prophesying, all right, and speaking and teaching, they're coming to pass, and now they're speaking for themselves. Now, a lot of you people can't say nothing, man, because you see everything that we've been saying is coming to pass. All right, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Yeah. All right, these prophecies are not going to lie, man. Everything that that the true prophets and servants of the Lord, which are the Israelites of Great Millstone and the ones that teach in like manner, everything they be speaking is now coming to pass and is speaking loud, man, for itself. All right, though it tarry, wait for it. Yeah, though it may seem like it's taking a while, the scriptures say wait for it. Because it will surely come, it will not tarry. All right, we know these prophecies are going to come to pass because the Lord said, my word shall not return unto me void. The scriptures also say that the Lord is not a man that he shall lie. You know, let's get back into this article, man. All right, because, you know, starting with the elite bankers, all right, they know the prophecies, man, you know, of the scriptures. That's why they created a doomsday clock. They know that Yahweh is going to send his son Yahweh Shai down to take him down. You know, they know that they want to set this earth on fire with thermonuclear destruction. You know, that's been their plan all along. All right, the Albert Piker Mazzini blueprint. All right, so the Lord is funny. That had Esau create a doomsday clock. All right, and then it keeps moving forward and forward. That goes to show you that we're at the end. We're at the end. 85 seconds to midnight. A little over a minute. That clock is about to strike midnight very soon, man. All right. So it says the doomsday clock, a metaphor for how close humanity is to self-annihilation. And that's exactly what it is. This third world war, all right, is all these nations coming together to destroy themselves, to annihilate themselves, to wipe themselves off the face of this earth. Because what the Lord is doing is bringing this man down, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, starting with the elites and also all these other nations as well. Because not only Esau, Edom, all right, which is the top nation that, rules over every nation, all right, but you got, the other nations that rule over us as well. All right, because the Israelites have no power. Nowhere on this earth do the Israelites have power on this earth. The true Israelites, the Negro, Latino, Native American man. All these other nations rule over us. But that's why the Lord is bringing these nations together for this third world war, so they could destroy themselves. The Lord is doing that for us. All right? Because he's removing their power. He's bringing them low and raising us up. The true Israelites, the Negro, Latino, Native American men. He's destroying them for everything that they have done to the nation of Israel, the true nation of Israel, all throughout the course of history. All the enslavement, the oppression, all the spoilness they have done to us. All right, Joel, the 3rd chapter goes into that. That's the reason why the Lord is bringing these nations together, so they could destroy themselves for everything they had done to the true Israelites, the Negro, Latino, Native American man, all throughout the course of history. All right, the doomsday clock, a metaphor for how close humanity is to self-annihilation, and that's exactly what's going to happen. All right, that's exactly what's going to happen. All right, in this third world war. All right, we gonna get it. All right. It says the doomsday clock, a metaphor for how close humanity is to self-annihilation, was moved to 85 seconds to midnight on Tuesday. All right, which is today. All right. It says its closest point to catastrophe since the clock made its debut nearly 80 years ago. All right, humanity has not made sufficient progress on the existential risk that endanger us all. All right, said Alexandra Bell. Yeah, all right, because nuclear war is coming. All right, the Lord said he's going to drown this earth. He said all the earth shall be devoured by the fire of my jealousy. And that's going to happen in this third world war. All right, when these nuclear missiles rain upon this earth. You got to understand that the nuclear missiles that are going to rain upon this earth, that's the Lord's anger. That's the Lord's judgment that's in those nuclear missiles. So imagine how hard those nuclear missiles are going to hit this earth. And imagine how hot that fire is going to burn. That's the Lord's anger. That's the reason why these nuclear missiles are going to hit this earth, because the Lord is angry. And his wrath and his fierce anger is going to be in that fire and those nuclear missiles that rain upon this earth. All right, because the scriptures say that this earth is exceedingly defiled. All right, is exceedingly polluted with wickedness. All right, it says humanity has not made sufficient progress on the existential risk that endanger us all. All right, it says the risk right here, the risk humanity faces from nuclear weapons. Yeah, bro, we've been telling you that nuclear destruction is coming, man. Esau, Edom is letting you know, man, himself, that humanity faces a great risk from nuclear weapons, man. And we've been prophesying and telling you this, man. And now maybe you want to, maybe now because the white man is telling you, right? Now maybe you coon ass niggas want to listen, right? But the Lord had his prophets out here. Been telling you, man. The Lord been gave his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of his word to the prophets. And been telling y'all. But you ain't want to listen. Maybe now you'll listen because maybe you'll listen because of the white man is telling you. Right? The damn devil was telling you, man. Because a lot of you coon ass Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? You don't want to listen. You don't want to listen to us, right? You think we just some niggas, right? Some niggas in spicks on the highways and hedges, right? Little you know, we carry the greatest wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that anyone can possibly receive. That had came from Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. And we're out on our highways and hedges telling you, man. See, this is the greatest story that the Lord has ever written. It's the greatest story that has been written ever, man. You know? Wait till the earth realizes, you know, that veil was taken off everyone on the face of this earth. And they gonna see that we have been those prophets this whole time. All right? Lord willing, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Ratazah, I am one of the Lord's true chosen prophets. I am of the elect, man. You know? The risk humanity faces from nuclear weapons, climate change, and disruptive technologies are growing, Bell said. Every second counts, and we are running out of time. You see? Even Esau knows that he's running out of time. When you read Revelation 12 and 12, it says because he knoweth he has but a short time. I went into that yesterday. For the devil is coming down upon you having great wrath, because he knows how he has a short time. You see? Every second counts and we are running out of time, he said. Last year, the bulletin set the clock at 89 seconds to midnight, which was its previous closest setting to midnight. Daniel Halls, the chair of the Bulletin Scientists and Security Board that sets the doomsday clock, and a physics professor at the University of Chicago, said major countries became more aggressive, adversarial, and nationalistic in the past year. Yeah, the Lord making things move fast, bro, like that. We've been telling you, man, all these, bro, are you... We're letting you know what's going on each and single day, man. Each and every day we're letting you know, bringing you news, letting you know what's happening around the world. Watching, letting you know what's up, man. Warning y'all. All right? It says a physics professor in the University of Chicago said major countries became more aggressive, adversarial, and nationalistic in the past year. All right, Halls, all right, also noted that a 2010 strategic arms treaty between the U.S. and Russia is set to expire next week. Woo! All right. You see how the Lord got everything playing out, man? So that his word could be fulfilled, man. It's crazy. Listen, man. The Lord is a chess master. Because everything that happens on this earth is all the Lord's doing, man. There's nothing out of the Lord's power. All right? A lot of you people don't know that everything that goes on in this earth is all the Lord's doing. All right. The Lord said, I have declared the end from the beginning. Woo. All right. For the first time in over half a century, there will be nothing preventing a runaway nuclear arms race. That's right. All right. You can't, listen, man, you can't stop, all right, prophecy from happening. And what is that prophecy? The Lord said, all the earth shall be devoured by the fire of my jealousy. You can't stop the prophecy of this third world war. You can't stop the prophecy of these nuclear missiles hitting this earth. You can't stop the prophecy of America being completely eradicated and wiped and swept off the face of this earth by thermonuclear destruction. You can't stop it. We've been prophesying and telling you this. All right? For the first time in over half a century, there will be nothing preventing a runaway nuclear arms race. All right? You're not going to stop this third world war. You're not going to stop the Lord's prophecies, man. Whether you like it or not, believe it or not, you can't stop it. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Let's get that in Romans. All right? The scriptures say, what if some did not believe, right? Don't matter if you like it or not or believe it or not. All right. So it says right here, Romans 3:3, it says, for what if some did not believe? Yeah. What if you don't believe what we're telling you? All right. These prophecies that we're telling you, man, that World War III is going to pop off. Nuclear missiles are going to rain upon this earth. America's going to be destroyed. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is going into slavery. What if you don't believe none of that? Let's keep reading. It says, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High Yahweh without effect? Yeah, is that going to stop these prophecies? Is your unbelief going to make the faith of the Most High without effect? Is that going to stop these prophecies in his word coming to pass? Just because you don't believe? You're going to believe pretty soon, man. All right? All you unfaithful are going to die in your unfaithfulness, like the scriptures say. Let's get that. Woo. All right. And Second Ezra, the 15th chapter. All right. Starting at the first verse, it says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. And that's what we've been doing. We've been speaking the words of prophecy. World War III, America's destruction, the downfall of Esau, Edom's kingdom and rulership, the downfall of his age and world, the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. These are all the prophecies we have been speaking to the ears of the Israelites. Right? The Lord said, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people. Who are the Lord's people? The Israelites, the Negro, Latino, Native American man. He didn't say speak these prophecies into the ears of Elam, the ears of Cush, the ears of Canaan, not, because the word of the Lord is only for the nation of Israel, the Negro, Latino, Native American man. All right? The word of the Lord is not for anyone else. Right? It says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. All right? Which I will put in thy mouth, save the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper. And that's how we got the Bible. All right? These prophecies are written on paper, the scriptures, man. And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Yeah. So like we just read in Romans 3:3, what if some did not believe? All right? It don't matter if you don't believe or not. These prophecies still going to come to pass. Right? Because the Lord said what? For my words are faithful and true. All right? Verse 3, fear not the imaginations against thee. All right? Yeah, we don't fear, the imaginations you wicked scoffers and scorners and you non-believers have against us, man. Because you imagine cruel things against us. You want to kill us and hurt us. All types of evil manners against us y'all want to do, right? But we don't fear those imaginations y'all have against us, man. The Lord said, fear them not, man. He said, I will make your head hard against their heads. Woo! All right, that's in Ezekiel, what's that, second chapter, the third chapter? Or maybe the first chapter. That's a fire script. All right. Fear not the imaginations against thee. All right. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee. Yeah, the word incredulity means unbelief or unfaithfulness. Right? He said, don't they don't believe you, let that not bother you, man. Let that not trouble you, man. Because they gonna die, man. And the Lord said, don't be worried how the ungodly will be destroyed, but be worried about how the elect will be saved. All right, fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Woo! All right, all you non-believers, right, that think we bugged out, think we're crazy. Oh, they think they're the real Israelites, talking about America's going to be destroyed. Esau, Edom is the devil. The white man is, yeah. All you unfaithful shall die. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, man. It don't matter if you believe us or not, man. It doesn't matter. All right. And even the next verse it says, behold, save the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And that's all we've been prophesying. Famine, death, and destruction. We've been telling you this is coming, man. All right. Verse 6, for wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. And that's exactly why the Lord is going to make it rain thermonuclear destruction upon this earth. Because as it says in this verse, for wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth. That fire is going to cleanse this earth. Because this earth is greatly defiled under the inhabitants thereof. I think that's Isaiah. All right. The earth is greatly defiled under the inhabitants thereof. All right. Let's go back into this article. All right. It says on climate change, Hall said atmospheric carbon dioxide and global sea levels have reached record highs. Droughts, fires, floods, and storms continue to intensify and become more erratic. And that's the Lord. Bro, come on. If you can't see me living in bro, it's just crazy. People don't even know half of the things that's going on in this world right now. That's how blind and how much of a rock they're living under, man. They don't even know or have any idea what time we're living in. The prophets are out here letting the people know what time they're living in, and they're just, it goes in one ear out the other. They think we're just, that things are just going to continue forever, man. Like how they always been. They think they're just going to be chilling and live all the way to their 90 years old, right? Not knowing there's getting ready to be a great flood, another one, right? Like it was in the time of Noah, but this flood is not going to be a flood of water. It's going to be a flood of fire and destruction. All right? Droughts, fires, floods, and storms continue to intensify and become more erratic. And this will only get worse. Yeah, bro, he's speaking fire right now, bro. Straight truth. Yeah, it's only going to get worse, bro. You people, bro, what's going on in the world right now is, like it says right here, is only going to continue to intensify. All the fires and floods and storms and droughts. Euphrates rivers drying up. Right? That's prophecy. All right? To prepare these nations for battle in this Third World War. It says Halls also warned of a potential arms race surrounding artificial intelligence, which he said could result in a desired consequence. All right, AI is a significant and accelerating disruptive technology. AI is also supercharging mis and disinformation. Yeah. All right, a lot of people are being fooled by AI, man. They're gonna fake they might fake the Lord's second coming with the Project Blue Beam. People gonna fall for it, man. They was before they was talking about AI Jesus and all that, man. All right, I did a video on it. AI Jesus answering your prayers and right? AI is also supercharging disinformation, right? Which makes it even more difficult to address all of the other threats we consider. But I want to go back up real quick at the beginning of this article, right? It says right here, it says the doomsday clock, a metaphor for how close humanity is to self-annihilation. And that's going to happen in this third world war. These nations are coming together, all right, to self-annihilate themselves, to drown themselves with thermonuclear destruction. And that's the Lord that's doing bringing these nations together. All right, that's the Lord that's bringing these nations together. Let's get that. In the book of Zephaniah, the 3rd chapter, and also I think it's Ezekiel, right? And Joel, the 3rd chapter, right? But the main one I like to get is Zephaniah. All right. Zephaniah, the 3rd chapter, this is a scripture I always bring out, right? It says, therefore wait ye upon me, save the Lord Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms. And that's the Lord doing that. Gathering these nations and assembling these kingdoms for this third world war. It's the Lord that's bringing these nations together, man. He said, for my determination is to gather the nations that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation. Indignation means righteous anger. So the Lord is bringing all these nations together for this third world war. He's gathering all these nations together for this third world war to pour upon them his righteous anger. All right, he said, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. So it's the Lord that's bringing these nations together, all right, so he could devour them with these with these nuclear missiles. This the Lord that's doing all of this, man. Right? And also when you get Joel, right? Let's get it in Joel. Joel, the 3rd chapter, right? No, not Jonah, Joel. It says, for behold, in those days, Joel 3:1, for behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, meaning the Lord is getting ready to bring us up out of this hell that we're living in, this captivity that we're living in, this slavery that we're living in under Esau, Edom. He's going to bring us up out of it, man. All right, verse 2. I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. So the Lord is the one that's gathering all these. He's saying it. I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. All right. The valley of Jehoshaphat is not an actual place. All right. The word Jehoshaphat in the Hebrew, all right, is Yahweh Shaphat. Yahweh being the Heavenly Father's name, Shaphat means judgment. So Yahweh's judgment, the Lord's judgment. What's the Lord's judgment? To bring all these nations together for this third world war so they could destroy themselves. Self-annihilation, like we're reading in this article, right? The doomsday clock, a metaphor for how close humanity is for self-annihilation. See, Esau, Edom knows, man. You see? All right. Joel 3:2 again, it says, I will also gather all nations and I will bring them into the valley of Jehoshaphat, into the valley of the Lord's judgment, of Yahweh's judgment, which is to rain nuclear fire upon these nations. All right. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel. So the Lord is doing this for us. He said he going to plead with the nations there. He going to bring all these nations together for this third world war so they can make it rain nuclear fire upon themselves. And he said, what? He's doing that for what? For my people and for my heritage, Israel. All right. He's doing that for us. He's destroying these nations for us so he could raise us up to be kings and gods and rulers of this planet Earth once again. He's bringing all these nations down low to be peasants. That's why he's bringing them together so, they could destroy themselves. He's bringing them down low. He's removing their power from this earth so he could raise up the true Israelites, the Negro, Latino, Native American man, right? It says, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations. Yeah, because the Israelites are scattered throughout the nation, throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Yeah, because the land of Israel is parted right now. All right, you got the Arabs. All right, and then you got the so-called Jews over there, the small hatters, the 1948ers. All right, parting the land. All right, over there in Palestine. Right? It says, and they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for an harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. All right. So it's the Lord that's doing all of this, man. All right. So the doomsday clock. All right, is what? 85 seconds to midnight, and it's going to keep moving closer and closer, faster and faster. Right? Because last year it moved too. And I think a year, like last year, it moved closer too. And I think a year or two before that, it also moved. All right. But now it's taking less and less time to move forward, more closer to midnight. So things are moving, man. All right. Things are moving. All right. All right. All right. He said nuclear war is closer and closer. All right. He also said droughts and fires and floods and storms continue to intensify and become more erratic. And this will only get worse, man. If you can't, bro, it's so evident and so easy to see that, I don't know, bro. Like, if you don't believe now what the true prophets and the servants are telling you by now, then I don't know, man. Like, it's so evident to see that this book is real, bro. The scriptures, the Bible, but the true understanding of it. All right. Which is what the Israelites of Great Millstone and the ones in like manner teach. The 100% true doctrine. The 100% true doctrine. It's, bro, man, we right here, Yahweh Shai getting ready to return and crack that sky. And Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Ratazah, I am of that elect, man. Man, that would be beautiful, man. Straight up. No more pain and suffering. No more emotional pain, physical pain. All types of pain. Mental pain, No more crying, man. No more hell, bro. New bodies. We're not going to have to worry about anything. We're going to have everything and not have to worry about anything, bro. We're going to have complete rulership of this planet Earth and have literally everything we wanted and more. We're going to have things that we never even thought of or imagined or could have even fathomed in this world or lifetime. We're going to have our own planet, our own galaxy, as many women as we want. We're going to be brolic as hell. The most beautiful people in the universe, on the planet. We're going to be glowing. We're going to have all the gold and jewelry and gemstones. We're going to have all the riches of this planet Earth, man. There's a better world coming for us. This is the good news. Literally no more pain, bro, in any type of way. Mentally, emotional, physically. No more back hurting, neck hurting. No more looking old. You're looking young as hell forever. We're literally going to have everything we ever wanted plus more, bro. We're going to get everything that we have ever lost. We're all going to get it back. That's the good news, bro. We're literally going to be in heaven. That's for us, the nation of Israel. All right? So, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. Matter of fact, let me read a little more. All right, it says he also expressed concerns about what he referred to as the increasing rise of nationalistic autocracies. All right, if the world splinters into an us versus them zero-sum approach, it increases the likelihood that we all lose. All right, it says Holes also noted the two fatal shootings in Renee Good and Alex Preddy this month by federal agents in Minnesota in what he called an erosion of the constitutional rights of Americans. Yeah. All right. If you still think you got constitutional rights, you bugged out. All right. All that is done, bro. Esau Edom. All right. Revelation 12:12. He's getting ready to come down with great wrath. Come on, man. Erosion of constitutional rights in American citizens. All right, all that's done away with, bro. All that shit gonna be suspended. All of that, bro. History has shown that when governments become accountable to their own citizens, conflict and misery follow, and that goes into the draconian laws, man. The martial law, and since Bell said the issues that influence the clock's setting are solvable, but people need to work together to find a solution. There is not going to be no solution, man. All right, the will of the Lord is to have nuclear destruction reign upon this earth. Every time we've been able to turn back the hands of the clock, it's been because we had scientists and experts working to find solutions and a public that was demanding action. All right, the Bulletin first unveiled the clock in 1947 in the wake of the U.S. using atomic bombs against Japan in World War II. That was the beginning of the nuclear age. All right, the group says its aims are to help advance actionable ideas to resist existential threats. The clock's minutes hands have been moved more than 24 times in its nearly 8-decade history. All right, the farthest the clock has been from midnight was 17 minutes in 1991. Following the end of the Cold War and the signing of the Strategic Arms Treaty between the Soviet Union and the U.S. to reduce their nuclear arsenals. All right, but it says that's up, right? It says it says for the first time in over half a century, there will be nothing preventing a runaway nuclear arms race. It says Halls also noted that a 2010 strategic arms treaty between the U.S. and Russia is set to expire next week. Woo, see how the Lord got everything played out, man? All right, so Lord willing, this lesson is edifying, or was edifying. Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Raktazai, this lesson is or was edifying. All right, call Halalyam, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Rakah Quitash. On to the next one. Shalom, shalom.